Hello, I'm Mike Gordon, and welcome to a bonus episode of
Crash Bandicoot 4!
And just like how there was a Crash Warp demo for Spyro the Dragon, there is a Spyro demo in Crash Bandicoot Warped. It's very simple. At the title screen, press up, up, down, down, left, right, and square, and you unlock the Spyro the Dragon demo that you can access. Very easy. Though you would only know about this if you had the instruction manual and was able to read through it, because that code is in the instruction manual. So, even though we have already done Spyro the Dragon, and this game already came out by the time Crash Bandicoot Warped had hit store shelves, they still saw fit to represent this frame to... They both Insomniac and Naughty Dog agreed, since they were both developed, but I'm going to talk over this because if you see my perfect playthrough of Spyro the Dragon, the dialogue is exactly the same.
Find the Balloonist. He'll transport you to the next world.
What about Nasty Newark? I'm going after
So
him.
basically, they were both games were published by Sony to be second-party developed IP properties for the Sony PlayStation, but they were actually produced by. But the rights to this franchise, to both Spyro and Crash, were owned by Universal Interactive Studios, even though their respective developers for Crash and Spyro were Naughty Dog and Insomniac. So there was definitely this mutual agreement that basically boosts each other out. Now, Spyro already came out, which is why what we have here is a much more fleshed out and complete demo. Let me just take this guy out. There's only just this one home world and two other levels that we have access to. So we go here, and even though you can hear the portal, is the level is completely walled off, so we can't go through that portal to Dark Hollows. Also, you just saw here is that we are missing a few options. Now we can't move on to the next world until we've rescued at least 10 dragons. But if we go over here, not only is the door closed, but the dragon that would actually help us open this dragon mouth to access a level is gone. This is because in order to access the level Toasty, two things have to happen first. One is that you have to see the portal to Toasty is still open, you just can't access it because the dragon mouth is closed. The first thing you need to do is you have to clear one of the three main worlds, of which we only have access to one of them. And obviously we don't need to do the stone. We don't have to do the stone puzzle to access Sunny Flight this time.
Keep your horns
So
on, Spyro.
that's kind of
You
neat.
have
We
much
don't need to do
learn
the.
first. Do you know what the dragonfly following you is doing?
Sorry,
His
it's a
name
little
is Sparks.
distracted because
He's
I'm
helping and
talking
protecting
over
you.
Clancy
Keep an eye
Brown.
on him and see what I mean.
Usually when I say so, if you saw my perfect playthrough of Spyro the Dragon, you've already seen what you've seen here. I'm just going through the demo because there's quite a few differences. Before we go through that portal, I would like to see what is different over here. Of course,
Hey, Spyro.
a perfect playthrough of Spyro the Dragon's demo basically is to just complete everything
Falling from high
possible.
mountain peaks, plummeting into prehistoric glaciers.
Oh, that.
So I'm not including any new hubs or. Notice I'm not making use of the HUD on the right hand side for this section at all. And there's two reasons for this. Number one, I've already done all of this, more or less. But number two, even if I did put stuff there, we can't really capitalize on any of it. We need 10 dragons to move on to the next world, and this pearl is completely walled off as well. But believe it or not, it's not the level that you think it is. So I'm gonna go back up here to try to... And by the way, no, I'm not gonna try farming for 499 extra lives. That's not happening. That simply ain't gonna happen. Now, interestingly, you can still save your game for here for some... Saving the demo. Don't know how it feels. So, Town Square's portal got moved to where Stone Hill's portal was supposed to be. But that's not it. But Town Square also uses, in this demo, also uses Stone Hill's music. Because this is supposed to be where Stone Hill is supposed to be located. But you free this dragon, Nils.
Welcome to Town Square, Spyro.
Now you can hear the Town Square theme.
That area with the bulls. Use the L2 and R2 buttons to get a good look.
So that is the actual theme for Town Square that you just heard. Whereas what you're hearing here is Stone Hill's theme. So the reason why Spyro has a much more fleshed out demo, like a much more extensive demo, is simple. Compared to Crash Warped, it's very simple. Crash Warped was not done when Spyro the Dragon first came out. It was still being worked on and developed. Whereas by the time Crash Warped came out, Spyro was already on store shelves for quite a bit. Because of this, rather than Insomniac just pumping out whatever content they already had on standby for this demo, they simply rearranged a few things and took everything else out. So that way, basically to showcase, hey, we can fix 2 levels plus a hub world into Crash Bandicoot Warped. We have that much space. I think that's another thing too, is that there is the space issue. Is the whole space thing.
Spyro, did you see a man dressed in blue running around here? He's a thief, and he's stolen a dragon egg.
We have to once again rescue the dragon egg. I think this is the reason why they chose Town Square in the and moved Town Square over here into the middle of the Artisans' home, as opposed to its original location in town. And replaced Stone Hill with that. They did that, I'm pretty sure, because Town Square literally has a dragon that tells you about dragon eggs. And even though there is a dragon egg to rescue in Stone Hill, none of the dragons rescue will ever bring them up. So it's very likely that players demoing this game wouldn't know about the dragon, about the thief, about the blue thief. Whereas here, in Town Square, one of the last dragons you rescue will literally tell you about the blue thieves, and that you need to rescue them. So they basically felt, okay, let's move Town Square in the middle of Artisans so everybody will know, can see it. Because it will teach you everything you need to know. How many about rescuing dragons, collecting treasure, and of course recovering the dragon eggs. With a dragon telling you about the dragon eggs. It's also why we didn't get Dark Hollow. I mean, yeah, a Blue Thief is in Stone Hill, but there's no NPC to tell you about him. You just have to find him and figure that out on your own. And Dark Hollow didn't have a Blue Thief, so. And by the way, this is probably the only possible way you can farm 99 extra lives. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I already did that when I played Spyro the Dragon. I'm not doing that second. I didn't even attempt to farm 99 lives in the Crash Warp demo in Spyro the Dragon. There's a fine line. There's a certain limit. I'm not all willing to cross. So there's only 3 dragons in the Artisans home demo, as opposed to 4 like in the original game. All the dragon's treasure and eggs are still accounted for from Town Square, and because the dragon that's supposed to be here two things are needed to be open this dragon mouth. Again, the first is you need to clear a level go through the vortex at the end of a level, like I did Town Square. And the second is you had to free the dragon that stands guard behind that dragon statue. In fact, that's kind of the trigger to open any of the dragon portals, is to free a certain dragon standing guard, as well as clearing a certain level. And of course, Night Flight is open right from the start in order to introduce players to the concept of flight levels, or what would later be known as speedways. They would later on be recategorized as speedways. Now, I'm still gonna say this, Sunny Flight is my favorite theme in the entire game. I literally did a final project on psychology. The subject was dragons. I chose this theme song for this project. Oops. Of course, you need to be able to hear this. I have to be able to perform well in order for you to actually hear it. But I definitely screwed up with the train. I like the drumming in this music. I definitely like the drums. I like the pigskins here. I think I even like the bass tune in this. It's a very distinct sound, and I do think the reason why I chose this for my Dragon report for my college class a few years back, the reason I chose this theme in particular, it is such a distinct track, yet at the same time it's something that can blend into the background, and you don't have to think so much about, but it still stands out. I think about dragons without immediately thinking of dragons. You hear the theme song of Dragonheart, you immediately think of Dragonheart. You hear this, but you do not know about Spyro the Dragon. Your instinct isn't, oh, I'm thinking about dragons, unless you know this track exists. So it blends into the background and makes you think about dragons without realizing that you're thinking about dragons. And that was actually a screw up on my end. I was hovering too close to the walls and got punished for it. That's okay, this is just a demo. Once I accomplish everything this demo has to offer, I'm just gonna wrap up this perfect playthrough of Crash Bandicoot Warped. Well, okay. There is still technically one more thing left to do after this. I need to get good planes. So far, kind of sloppy. I mean, there is still one more bonus video after this. After all, I call this bonus 1. However, bonus 2 is just going to be all the platinum relics. A compilation of all the platinum relics, and without any commentary on my end. So, just there for your viewing pleasure. I just assemble all my platinum relic attempts for your viewing pleasure, that's all. And this is the best part of this track. And Spyro the Dragon music is so underrated. I don't think it ever gets better than this. I do think Spyro 2 is the best game in that series, but I don't think the composer ever topped himself in this first game. But that's it for the Spyro demo. We only have 7 dragons to rescue. If we could get into Toasty, we could make it 8. But even if we were to access Toasty, because the dragon guarding the dragon mouth isn't there, we would be soft locked and would not be able to get out. We also have there's no option to quit the game either. So that's it. 600 treasure and 7 dragons for 6 in 1 dragon egg for 6 total percentage points completed. There is nothing else for us to complete in this game. All I can do is farm. All we can really do at this point is farm for extra lives, but at this point, I'm just gonna call a spade and just call it a day. Because here's the thing. So, you might be wondering, since we've been Spyro the Dragon, I did reveal all the cheat codes for the first Spyro game that we could perform on the pause menu. So the question is, do any of them work? And the answer is, well, I tried. I put up all the cheats. So just move. So if you see the cursors moving and I press start here, I'm trying to trigger the cheats, and I can't get any of them to work. See, I'm literally pressing every single button combination I can, and I can't get it to work. I'm not getting like a certain musical cue that confirms that the cheats even worked. And even if we got them all to work, even if we were somehow able to scrounge out 10 dragons rescued, the Artisans home, meaning another 3 dragons rescued for a grand total of 10. Say we managed to clip beneath the ground to access Dark Hollows or Stone Hill. Complete those 2 levels, collect the dragons. Because trying to clip into Toasty would result in us getting trapped. We visit the Balloonist, and instead of telling us we need 10 dragons, there are many more worlds for you to explore, Spyro. I can take you to see them in the full version of Spyro the Dragon. Yeah, he would not be able to take us to those other worlds. So that is literally it. Again, I must remind you that there is still one more bonus episode remaining of Crash Bandicoot Warped, the Platinum Relics video. However, since I won't be providing any commentary for this video, this is where I'm going to sign off for my perfect playthrough of this game. If I fail to sell you on how this is one of my 10 favorite video games of all time, I apologize. But having said all that, it is my 6th game of Christmas, but my 5th game done. Kind of funny that my 2 favorite games out of these 12, the 2 that I've had the fondest memories playing as a child, were done so early. Well, the reason is simple. I own physical copies of both of these games. And since I was so really familiar with both of them and everything there was to do, I was able to afford myself the time and luxury in between my Xenoblade and Yu-Gi-Oh! Live streams to complete them over the span of 2 or 3 days. The timing couldn't be any closer either. It was already February 3rd by the time filming for this game in particular had already wrapped up, and I had to, once again, hook up my capture card to my Nintendo Switch. Good news is, 2 of my 4 remaining games of Christmas are both Switch titles, Contra and Mega Man respectively. So covering those 2 games in between my Yu-Gi-Oh! Live streams makes the most amount of sense on paper. But my next game of Christmas may, in fact, be the most surprising selection of all. Trust me, even I was shocked at just how quickly I was able to complete this game. But you've got to tune in to find out which of these 4 games is gonna be lucky number 7. But until then, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Your support is highly appreciated, especially during these trying times, and it'll go a long way in determining whether or not this channel will be able to continue beyond 2026. Otherwise, this is Mike Gordon, sign out.